to the Space for Kentucky Roundtable. The Space for Kentucky Roundtable is a place to bring together space-focused businesses and enthusiasts so we can learn, discuss, and share insights about the space industry. This provides an opportunity for companies and individuals to come together to grow our space economy. Please take a minute to sign up for the Space for Kentucky notifications so that you are aware of all the amazing things that are coming up. In addition, here is a page of resources and links to help you get space into your classroom. I will add more as I get them. Tonight we have 5 amazing educators that will present, and I hope that you will leave inspired to bring space into your classroom. All right. And I have many of the links that we'll be discussing tonight are on the webpage that is for this meeting, and I will also put that in the chat. So there's a bunch from the International Space Station, a bunch from NASA, and we will do that. So as we're talking about the ISS, why don't we go ahead and have Courtney present next. She is the Education Project Manager with the International Space Station, United States National Lab. And before joining the National Lab, she served as a formal educator for 14 years, educating elementary and high school youth. She presented previously on the Space for Kentucky Roundtable in a meeting that focused on jobs in space. And that recording is also available on spaceforkentucky.com. So without further ado, Courtney, why don't you take it away?
Thank you so much, Izzy. It's so great to be here. I love seeing familiar names. I love seeing familiar faces. Jonathan Stroud, you've been in my LinkedIn orbit for a very long time, and I'm not sure we've actually formally met. I think we might have presented together at one point, if that rings true. But I'm just really, really honored because this is such an influential group. And what we do every day, we can kind of forget, number one, how cool our jobs are, and number two, how important they are and what we can do. We've seen a mass exodus in education, and it's no real surprise. And anytime we can kind of support educators and support education is something that I think should always be the epicenter of our focus. And at the National Lab, it's something in our department. Whenever we get new, shiny opportunities, we ask ourselves those questions. Does this impact educators in a positive way? Will it keep them in the classroom longer? And what can we do to make sure that anything we do select fulfills those requirements? So I want to go ahead and share quickly with you. I have some slides. I'm not sure many of us in here are formal educators. I think there's a lot of informal education. Maria Nichols here, and she's still in the classroom. But I want to go ahead and just briefly. So many of you may, a lot of people think, oh, National ISS, you're NASA. No, we operate under a cooperative agreement with NASA. About 11 years ago, Congress decided that there needed to be more access to the International Space Station because it is taxpayer funded and it is actually a floating laboratory. And we are so fortunate that they had the insight to think, wait a second, if we're going to have a national lab for the International Space Station, part of the allocation and resources need to be dedicated to education. And I get to work in the education department, which is kind of a dream come true because I never ever would have thought that I would work in the space industry. I've always loved space, grew up in Florida, watching rocket launches from our front yard. So this is very cool opportunity for me. Like I mentioned, it is your floating laboratory in space. Now, Space Station Explorers, we are that education wing of the ISS National Lab. And part of what we do is work with a group of partners, a consortium of educational partners that leverage the science on the International Space Station to create educational programs and opportunities for educators and students. Most of our programs are completely free. There are paid for programs, but that's generally if you are paying to launch an experiment to the International Space Station or you're purchasing equipment. We have an ambassadors network that has over 2,000 members. We have over 20 Space Station Explorers partner programs and 40 educational partners. And the distinction there is our partner programs actually have a program that use the science on the International Space Station for educational programs such as Tomatosphere or ARIS, and you see Quest for Space there. Our educational partners are organizations like Blue Origin's Club for the Future or Challenger Learning Centers, anybody we can partner with in order to spread our reach and spread their reach. Our free programs are listed here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but like I said, most of them are completely free. Two of my favorites, I have the ambassador program. If you're not an ambassador, and it's not just for educators, but please consider joining. This puts you on our mailing list and allows us to contact you with different opportunities in your area. If you're an educator in Tennessee and we have an outreach opportunity, for example, the end of September, there's an outreach opportunity in Utah. And we don't have the bandwidth to send someone from our organization. So we're actually sending Liam Kennedy. We're like, Liam, if we ship you some materials, will you please go to this event? He is not only one of our partners, but he's also an ambassador and represents us on a regular basis. And we've got, I think this is a picture of Ashley. I can't see that she was one of our first ambassadors, but Kaci Heins was actually one of two very first original ambassadors. And now the program actually has, I think, 2,500 individuals worldwide. ARIS is a free program where you can talk via ham radio to astronauts on the International Space Station. And Zero Robotics, it's another free program. It partners with MIT. It's a competition where students code robots aboard the International Space Station to perform specific tasks. And then there's a competition where different teams compete, and it's actually hosted by one of the astronauts aboard the International Space Station. Great program that teaches coding. It teaches teamwork, critical thinking, problem solving, a lot of those 21st century skills that we see lacking in students today. We do have fee-based programs, but like I said, if it's fee-based, you're purchasing equipment or you're sending something to the ISS. We have ISS above on here, and Liam Kennedy's here, and he's actually demoing. I think I can't see his screen, but he is demoing that it provides a live feed, telemetry, crew information, next visible pass of the ISS, and it's a Raspberry Pi device that can plug into any computer. It can plug into a TV, and it actually has an LED light that flashes when the ISS is passing over. So ideally, on a clear day, you turn on your screen once the light starts flashing, and you can see a live feed of your current location from the International Space Station. So super cool. Quest for Space has a different levels of robotics and coding. Their level 0, what they call it, is where it's a very cost effective. I believe it's $20 to code a robot to say a phrase such as "Happy birthday, Izzy," or "How are you doing today, Mom?" from the International Space Station. They record that video and the video gets downloaded back to Earth. So super cool. Pocket Lab is one of our newest partner programs. They have different sensors that will track everything from acceleration, speed, humidity, temperature. You can purchase these small pocket labs and they will detect different things. We're hoping at some point soon to send one to the International Space Station and have the astronauts do some demonstrations with that. But very, very cool apparatus. We have amazing partnerships. We've partnered with Lucasfilms, Marvel, with Guardians of the Galaxy. We had the recent challenge with Redwire and Microsoft where they 3D printed a Zune aboard the International Space Station. Everything to keep students engaged. We have these patches. If anybody wants one of these patches, shoot me an email and I can probably get you a few. Slime in Space is a free, what they called a field trip, a virtual field trip, but it has activities in it. Explored how does slime behave in space? What are some of the things that we can expect from a non-Newtonian fluid when you remove gravity? Again, we have all these resources and more online. There's a short video. It's a cool video. I'm not going to play it now, but please feel free to scan this QR code to learn more about our project, our programs. And we would love if you have any questions for me. I would be more than happy to answer any of them. Last thing before I go, Expedition Space Lab is a program that has grade level curriculum, and it's sorted by Earth and space science, technology, life science, physical science. All these lessons are free online. They are also divided into elementary, middle, and high school. And so there's scaffolding. They have a career connections, scholarly article, a video that illustrates the scientific principle, and a lesson that you can do with your class. Again, this is completely free. We also have the opportunity, which will be opening here next month, in order to win $10,000 for your school or organization. More information can be found on our website, which is ISS National Lab /STEM/. And any questions you have for me can be sent to me at cblack@issnationallab.org.
I want to sincerely thank all the presenters tonight. Courtney Black, Dr. Deepika Sangam, Kaci Heins, Dr. Mark Wagner, and Robert Aillon. Thank you so much for spending your night with us and sharing space. Please take a minute and sign up for Space for Kentucky notifications. And one last time, here's the website where you can get the resources that we discussed tonight and more. We will add, if you have more, please send them to me and we will get them on there. I hope that you have found this evening enjoyable and inspirational. And I hope it has inspired you to reach for the stars.